Hello and welcome to the Lorna Marie Fitness Podcast, the show where we talk all things fitness, health, mindset and lifestyle to help you become fitter, healthier and happier. I help busy people who lack time, motivation and self-belief to look and feel great again. If you want to work with me, head over to lornamariefitness.co.uk, but for now, enjoy this episode. So, the first question is, any advice on the balance of classes would be great, please. I know we should be doing 3+ classes a week, but I'm not sure how many cardio, strength, holistic I should be doing. I find myself going back to old favourites, power walking, aerobics, Pilates, and not doing any of the strength ones. I think I'm trying to avoid the burn, but I also know I should probably be doing them if I want to get stronger rather than just getting my steps in and my activity levels up. Okay, great question. And there is some guidance on this, but as always with a lot of these things, it depends. So what I would say is variety is the absolute key. If you want to work your all-round wellness, fitness, you've got to think about working your heart health, your lung health, working your bones, your muscles, staying supple, staying mobile, and also, of course, doing things that feel good. So thinking about your mental health, the things that you really enjoy, because essentially they're the things that you stick to. Now, let's talk about how much we're meant to be doing, or ideally, what's recommended. So the government recommends 150 minutes of moderate exercise a week, and they include things like pushing a lawnmower. And I suppose with that, you could probably include cleaning, like vigorous cleaning. Just imagine someone whipping up and down with a hoover, going mad. Maybe you do that, so you can include that. Or a brisk walk. So there's some of the things they include within that category. Notice brisk walk, not just a walk. Then you've got either that, or they say, or 75 minutes of vigorous activity. So there you'd be looking at your HIIT workouts, your cycle, your aerobics, your combat, those type of workouts. So it's either or kind of, a bit of an in-betweeny, a bit of a mixture. So when we say guideline of 3+ classes, so when we're first getting started, we always say try and aim for about 3. So you're roughly doing about 90 minutes of hopefully a bit of variety. So you're getting in between that 75 vigorous or 150 moderate, we're getting in between there. And that's a really good place to start. But in all honesty, anything is better than nothing. So any 15-minute workout, 20-minute workout counts. It really, really does. And they all add up. And actually, the most recent research showed that there is no difference between doing your workouts like separately throughout the week, spaced out, versus cramming at the weekend. They called it weekend warriors in terms of your long-term health. Like ideally, if you're doing a strength workout and you absolutely hammer your legs, ideally you'd probably give your legs a rest the next day. But in terms of your long-term health, if you've only got the weekends, you're so busy with work and the kids or whatever during the week, and you've just got the weekends spare to do your workouts, then great, amazing, get them in. And that's what's so great about what we do. You have that full flexibility. You can do what you want when you want. You can fit those minutes in wherever. Now, let's talk about that balance of exercise, the balance of workouts. So sorry, we went off on a bit of a tangent there. Bring it back. I hope it's useful though. So in terms of the balance, you want to be making sure that you're doing at least a couple of strength workouts a week. One of them might be with weights, body weight. The other one might be something like a Pilates. It's still classed as strength. You are going to be putting your muscles under load. For example, if you think about lying back doing a bridge, yeah, you are. And it's also a great core strengthening workout. So that can be included within strength, although we typically call it like holistic. So for example, if you're doing 3 classes, you could do one cardio class. It might be a Zumba, an aerobics, a sculpt session, or whatever you enjoy. You could also do a strength-based workout like the booty band class, or things using the weights like stronger. And then you could do like a Pilates. And if you've got some extra time, you could do some yoga, or there is quite a lot of strength within yoga as well. So maybe you'd include that within one of your strength. Ideally though, you'd be doing a couple of resistance-based workouts a week, and then maybe one more, or if you can and you've got the time and you're into the routine of doing more. There is, however, an upper limit. So the upper limit, it's recommended that you do, remember, 150 minutes of moderate, 75 vigorous. The upper limit is 600 minutes of moderate exercise, or, notice I'm not saying and, or 340 minutes of vigorous, or so if you're doing a bit of both, somewhere in between. After that point, there is no additional benefit. And that's for people who are particularly really, really active, used to doing lots of classes, or maybe you do lots of outdoor sport, whatever it might be. There is an upper limit where there is no additional benefit. And actually, you can get a, what's the word? Unbenefit? Disbenefit? It's disadvantageous. What's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, yeah, the cons outweigh the pros, because then you've got to think about your body's not getting enough recovery. So all these workouts you're doing, you're just spinning the wheels and making yourself more tired, so you're not seeing the benefit from your workouts. And that is, tapping into overtraining. Everyone hits that at a certain level, different number of minutes, depending on your current fitness level, what you're used to, etc., etc. But yeah, there is that upper limit. But I hope that answers your question, and I hope that is useful. But at the end of the day, anything is better than nothing, and finding something that you enjoy that keeps you active is key. Okay, moving on. By the way, if you've got any questions in the meantime, let me know. I will try and keep my eye on the live. She says, and Facebook button isn't clicking. Hello, Facebook. Okay, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll keep an eye on my phone. Next question. Sometimes I get cramping in my left leg, mainly in the calf, but sometimes in my thigh too. It's normally when I do floor-based exercise and the leg's raised, but doing some work. My left leg has sciatica problems with nerve issues, and I know it's weaker than my right as a result. Any advice on how to prevent, treat, avoid cramping, particularly with sciatica involved, or just in general? Right, so my first port of call would be to, if you haven't already, go and see a physio or a GP, see a specialist, because it's definitely more one for those in that profession, medical profession. But having said this, sciatica is usually pretty short-lived. I think it normally lasts around about 6 weeks. And the cramping in the leg is really, really common, even though it originates from your back. So what it is, it's a sciatic nerve. It starts in your lower back and it goes down the back of your legs and into your feet. So even though it's originating from your back, you might feel the cramping or the pain, quite commonly in your calf or your feet or your thigh. And sometimes, down one side. So it is really common. You're not on your own, but in the moment, so these are just a couple of tips, take them as you will. In the moment, cramping, you want to stretch it out and massage it out if it's happening in that moment. Then in terms of sciatica, it really depends. A lot of people find gentle movement and mobilization work really useful. A lot of people really swear by Pilates to help their recovery because it works on strengthening and mobilizing the back, the spine. But it depends on the cause of it as well and the severity of your pain. So for example, if it's caused by a herniated disc, sometimes leaning forward to try and release and open the back isn't going to be the best thing, and it's going to be putting pressure in the places you don't want it to put the pressure on. So if you are not sure, and maybe you've tried some gentle movement and it isn't easing, and you're really not sure what the best thing to do is, the best thing you can do is go and speak to a physio. I would definitely advise that. In terms of cramping in general, so sciatica aside, cramping in general, as I mentioned earlier on the group, I think it was Fiona, wasn't it? Hydration's key. Hydration is really, really important in the moment. Obviously stretching, massage it out. Then potassium is one of the minerals that is really good for cramping. And you find that in bananas, Sweet potatoes meant to be a good one as well. I'm not saying in the middle of a cramp, like a muscle spasm, go and eat a banana. Like that's not really gonna help in the moment. It's more of a preventative before. So if you're really conscious of it, like a lot of people get cramping when they do certain exercises, go get a banana before you do them. Yeah, let that, obviously the banana digests and everything. Oh yeah, I've written down here as well, avocado. That is another one apparently. So there you go. But yeah, definitely go speak to someone if you haven't already. The last question we've got here. Okay. Can I ask about hips clunking on certain floor exercises? I don't have a known problem with my hips and no pain, but on some floor exercise, when I lower my legs, my hips make a clunk sound. Okay, right. So again, this is more of a physio question, but if you're in general, I have to be careful what I say here. So disclaimer, I'm not a physio. In general, if it's not causing you any pain, it's not a massive issue. The clunking noise can be for lots of different reasons, but it may be essentially because it's almost, this is going to sound a bit gross, but like not sitting properly in the socket, like popping out the socket, or it could be tendons going over, rolling over bones. I know it doesn't sound very nice, does it? But yeah, that is what it could be. And in general, if it's not causing you any pain, it's not really seen as an issue. It can be really quite common. Things you might want to consider though is working on stability in the pelvis and working on strengthening the muscles that are going to support your hips and your pelvis. To do that, I would recommend looking at Pilates. I would also recommend looking at our booty band workout, which we call BodyCon, and that will be that will really help to strengthen those muscles around that area. If it is causing you any pain though, or you hear like any grinding noises, I would 100% go and see somebody. And if you're not sure, and if it's something that's bothering you, I'll go and see somebody anyway. I hope that has been really, really useful, everybody. And if you've got any questions on anything we've spoken about today, do let me know, and I would be more than happy to answer them. And I wish you a fabulous, fabulous Friday, whatever you're getting up to. I hope you're having a great day so far, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Bye, everyone.